These guys are hurting and struggling because they're not getting the support from the Brotherhood that they once were able to get that support from. It is kind of sad. I don't see it often where guys are like, oh, dude's successful, screw him, he's made it. He must be doing well. He doesn't really need my help.
But it's odd because if you think back, there was a period of time where you're like, oh, I jumped in front of a bullet for that guy.
Yeah.
Where's the focus of the Green Beret Foundation, and where do you see the opportunities for them to continue to contribute to those who have given so much to this country in service in special operations?
I kind of like the idea that we now have a director that didn't serve. And from my experience, I have seen the biggest give-backs, the biggest support from people who never served in the military. And so I feel like having Charlie here he has that. He wants to support. He wants to give back to the community and to the Green Beret Foundation, to the Green Berets and their families. And he's doing that from a lens that only he can see through. But it's different, and I think it's going to be a lot better. I've already seen some changes for the better, and but I have seen in the past our biggest support has come from people who didn't serve. I have a lot of Green Berets that are like, hey, man, I want to be an ambassador for the Green Beret Foundation. What do I have to do? And we put them through, here, sign this, do that. You get some swag, great. But now we need you to go out and we need you to be an ambassador. We need you to be a good steward for the Green Beret Foundation. And a lot of the times, and I'm not bagging on these guys, but a lot of these times, these guys really just want more than they want to give. And I'll talk to them about it and be like, hey, really need you to step it up, need you to give, need you to go out there and set up these events. And then we'll call on you when we need you. With civilians, I have seen more of these people just say, hey, I just did this event and I raised this much money for the Green Beret Foundation. How do I get it to you? Yeah. I'm like, are you serious? That's crazy. Or, hey, we're this organization. We want to do this for the Green Beret Foundation. We didn't serve. We don't have anybody in our family that served, but we picked you guys to give this money to. To me, that at first when I joined the Green Beret Foundation, as an ambassador, I thought it was just going to be a bunch of Green Berets raising money for other Green Berets. But I have since come to realize that they do. They raise money for other Green Berets. Green Berets raising money for Green Berets. But I have seen far more people outside of the military community and family give back to our servicemen and women and the families. So it's their way of serving because they never got to.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're seeing that here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing that here. I mean, we've talked to a number of folks. Even last night, I was in Boston last night at dinner, and you saw people, I saw people from BU, like the athletic department was there.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to the game, and the athletic director said, I'm going to the game too.
Yeah.
And those are people who haven't served, but they have this commitment. I think that's one of the important factors of the Green Beret Foundation. One of the things they do is they're bringing everyone together.
They absolutely do, yeah.
They're really bringing everyone together. Yes, there's the programmatics, and we've spoken at length about the programmatics.
Yeah.
We've gone deep on the programs, what the focus is. Charlie was here a few minutes ago talking about that. But I think at the end of the day, the true impact for guys like you and I is it creates an environment for us to get together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen. And I think that's also, actually, it's very healing to get together back with other Green Berets and their families. Because once we leave the service, we all just star cluster out to where we came from. And then we lose each other. We lose that sense of family. And then we also kind of lose sense of purpose. Yeah. And this kind of draws it back together when we get back together, talk about, the Jedburgh podcast or Alpha Lead Performance and other businesses, and then just see the brotherhood come back together for a little bit. Kind of reignites that feeling that we had when we were all together.
Talk for a second about partnership, because Nick was here a little bit ago. One of the things that I mentioned to him was that it's very important that we as former Green Berets, in together as brothers in arms, support each other's businesses.
Yeah.
And too many times what we've seen, I think, too much of is guys have success and then everyone looks at them and they're like, oh, F that guy, can't believe he did that. Why is he out there talking about himself? But that's not the right answer.
No.
The right answer is that you're out there busting your ass every day.
Yeah.
I'm here busting my ass. Nick's busting his ass. There's hundreds and thousands of other, SF guys who've transitioned out of service, busting their asses in their businesses.
Yeah.
Now, how do we come together and support each other?
That's a good question, because I will say, and I've said this as of late, that there really isn't, and people are going to look at me while I'm saying this, that there isn't any.
They're all back there.
I know, but there isn't any veteran loyalty.
Yeah.
You know, but that's also on my part. When I started my first business, I thought, oh, I'm going to be loaded, I'm going to be rich. And I was looking at it for all the wrong reasons. And I thought that my brothers in arms are going to support me because I have this great business, this great, product line and all that stuff. And that's not the case. That really isn't. Because I see a lot of veterans who support other businesses of mine. And I wish I had their business, but and that's just their prerogative. But it is important to support each other's businesses. We support each other in a lot of different ways when we serve. Why stop? You know what I mean? But it also keeps it kind of keeps the money in the family, if you will. I don't want to make it about money, but we know what you need. I know what you need, and you know what the next guy needs, and we just support each other. It's conducive, and it helps us when we get out and be successful after we get out of the military. Because a lot of the times, more than not, these guys are hurting and struggling because they're not getting the support from the brotherhood that they once were able to get that support from. It is kind of sad. I don't see it often where guys are like, oh, I do successful, screw him, he's made it. But there is just kind of a fallback. He must be doing well. He doesn't really need my help. I'm going to go over here or whatever. I don't know.
But it's odd because if you think back, there was a period of time where you're like, oh, I'd jump in front of a bullet for that guy.
Yeah, right. You're right.
So
yeah.
Okay, cross post their stuff.
Yeah. But then again, but is that guy really successful though? That's the other thing, is that I know guys that look like they're extremely successful online. Their business is crushing it and killing it. They're not. And I'm not saying that it's us. We do all right. We do all right for who we are and for the size of a business that we are. But that's why support that guy, because I guarantee he might look like he's rocking and rolling online behind the scenes, but I bet you he's not as successful as you think he is, unless he's ringing the bell on Wall Street like some of our brothers that are doing. Support him. He's got a family, and he's trying to give back to the community as well, because a lot of what we do is we give back. We have our own nonprofit, AEP Outdoors.